You're welcome once again into this, what I would call the last session to help you overcome fear of starting a business. This time around, we're going to look at really how can I plan for the start of the business. You've collected the information about yourself, you've collected the information about the environment where you're going to start the business, you've aligned both your strengths and the information you've got out of the customers. Now, this is the last action to do. You start planning for action. One of the key things is that most of the information we get out there threatens us to start the dream businesses that we once had. We feel that we have no creativity of aligning our strengths to the businesses or the environment that needs our services. We've seen people who dream of bigger dreams, of implementing things within the community, but they die with these dreams. The action, the implementation fails out. Most of us have many dreams of what we want to start, but after seeing the environment and we feel is threatening our strengths, we decide to sit on our strengths and the idea dies out. So, this session, you have to come in now and think of how to plan action, how to plan implementation. What are the key things you're going to look at here as you're planning implementation? You need to plan for the resources. When we talk about resources, we have both physical and human resources. What are the physical resources that you are going to bring on board? What are the physical resources that you have that will be able to support your starting of the business? Like I told you in the previous sessions, you don't need to look at something big. Look at what is within your reach in terms of skills, in terms of finances. Use those resources. Start a business within those resources that you have. They're economic enough for you to be able to defend, to be able to support in the beginning. Look within your means. So as you're planning, plan for the resources. What are the physical resources that you have? What are the economic resources that you have? What are the human resources that you have? Your skills are part of the human resource. Probably you are a professional doctor. You could start a clinic within your community. People may be needing your services in your community. So that is a resource that you need now to plan for. How am I going to start this business using the skills that I attained as a nurse, as a doctor, as a medical practitioner? Some of you have been volunteers or are still volunteers within this COVID-19. But what skills are you picking? Even with the advice given by the national ministers and leaders, you can pick a skill out of there and you apply it very well in your community. And it can be a business venture, which people didn't know. So think about the skills as a human resource. Plan for your skills and how you're going to align your skills within your vision, within the business idea you have that will help you to tackle that thing within the community or within the customer needs. So think of the skills, plan for your skills, plan for those resources. They'll be vital for you to apply very well. Secondly, plan for the roadmap through which you're going to implement. Think of day one, think of day two, think of day three in your implementation process. Don't rush to bring something all over at once. Implement slowly by slowly, because as you implement slowly by slowly, it will help you get some feedback on what you are implementing. Probably you're starting a school, you want to start a school. Why start all the 6 secondary school classes all at once? Start the class slowly by slowly, plan the roadmap slowly by slowly. That's why within what we shall call a market plan, which we shall see later, it will give you a 5-year plan. So how are you going to plan the roadmap to implementation of that 5-year marketing plan or business plan? So plan slowly by slowly. Start something slowly by slowly. It will give you feedback. It will give you feedback. Maybe you want to supply items. Don't supply all at once, especially if you're supplying food within this COVID environment. Don't think of supplying to the whole community. Plan the roadmap. Today I'm giving this customer. Tomorrow I'm adding on to, until when you feel fulfill your objectives, the measurability aspect of your objective. So plan your roadmap for implementation. What are you starting with? What do you expect when you start with that? What are you moving on next? What do you expect? Then, thirdly, plan for the controls and duty allocation. Remember, like we said, that this business should be within your means. If you can control 1 million, so that will give you steps in how to make control that business. So if something out controls you, it will be hard for you to run on. So plan the controls. How am I going to spend? How am I going to be earning? How am I going to promote my business? Those are key differentiators